3 Ps. Every consultant has to do alliteration, I know, I went to consultant school. You learn this on day 1. So the 3 Ps. Peers, say it with me now. Purpose and portals. Here's what I'd like you to remember. Back to Ken's engagement model and these axes. I don't know if I've got this right, Ken, and it doesn't matter because you can't see it behind a pillar anyway. So you just have to imagine that I'm channeling you the right way here. So these placements are a bit arguable, but it doesn't matter necessarily to me that I've put my 3 Ps on the right legs of Ken's 3 axes, because they could arguably be rotated. It's simply I'm trying to give you another handle to re-examine the messages that Ken was delivering yesterday. I think that we have to be about peers as part of raising up the brand. Back to those intersecting circles, those little target diagrams with the social networks, the peer networks. Remember, the younger the age that you are trying to attract, the more you will have to work through peers to get to the individual. That will be paramount in your success. That's what's going to help to raise the brand. But all of that work is going to fall short of where you want it if it doesn't lift up some greater purpose. Some purpose, frankly, that's greater than the university. Why? Because the millennial generation believes that they're here to save the world, to change the world. Strauss and Howe talk about these 4 repeating generational personas. And we don't talk so much about the GI or the greatest generation anymore. But they were the last civic generation. They dealt with a crisis era in their rising adulthood. World War II. All the depression leading up to it, and then the worldwide cataclysm that became a world war. That was all done in their rising adulthood years. It became a defining moment for this generation, the GI generation. They had a civic personality. So then you go through the silence. In the silence were adaptive. The booms were idealists, which the millennial thinks are people who are truly inspirational, but just love to talk. Think about talk radio. Where is it coming from most? People with this color hair. And then the Gen X, they're a reactive personality, and then we're back to civic. So arguably, the civics, the millennial generation, may be in their defining moment right now. Another book that Strauss and Howe wrote that I felt was pretty powerful was called Fourth Turning, and we'd need many more hours, and I'd need a refresher to understand that. But there is the sense of a pattern in history that has about an 80 to 100 year cyclical nature that they call a saclium. And there, when they wrote Fourth Turning in 1999, it was published in 2000 if memory serves, they talked about the crisis era that would hit, they predicted, sometime around mid-century, 2005, and would last for about 15 to 18 years. Twin Towers went down in 2001. 2007, the economic foundation started to rattle a little bit. 2008, it fell down. 2009, it stayed down. 2010, it picked its head up. 2011, it's wobbling. We think about what's happening on the global stage. I'm not here to suggest that they are seers, but my own belief is that we are in an extended period of destabilization. We are not going to get back in the next 10 years or so, in my humble judgment, we are not going to get back to the way it used to be. We are in a period of destabilization. And these rising adults the oldest of whom today are 29. They're being they'll rise above this to the greater good, the common good. If you tap that, not to be manipulative, but to be partnered and aligned, please underscore that. Not to be manipulative. This is not to drive your numbers. This is to do the right thing. You will have a powerful ally in the millennials. And the portals are simply making all of the connections available to them in an easy, meaningful, click way. You probably do this already, but sit down with your website, sit down with all of your social media portals, and get a bunch of millennials in the room and have them interact. Give them all the iPads, have them interact, and listen to them. Is it easy to get around? Can they find what they want to find? Is it clunky? Does it take several clicks? Because they're impatient. So I want to leave you with this. I don't speak Italian, but I think this is how you spell ciao. My Italian friends, help me, CIAO. I want to leave you with this. Millennials want these four things from your alumni association, and frankly, from anybody they do business with. They're going to get it, or they're going to walk. They're going to go somewhere else. They want connectivity. They want individuality. You're either going to give it to them, or they're going to go where they can get it. It doesn't mean that they're going to go to another university to get it, although we all know they have less institutional loyalty, so it's very likely that they will be a highly educated generation, and they'll go to multiple institutions, and therefore loyalty gets stretched even further. But they want that individuality. They want authenticity. They want to be treated like they're whole people of value, and they want you to respond true to your word. And they want a sense of ownership. With the silent generation, the one above the boomers, we could control things more, and we could just kind of dole it out and they'd respond. The millennials are saying, no, no, my fingerprint's all over it. I'm having none of it. So I want you to think about those last four as you think about your work today in the tracks. Again, I will leave these here. There's more about the generational framework. For those of you who are interested, there's more about the sense of what I imagine, because nobody can predict, but I imagine will happen. I try to take a look out to 2030, 2040.